Disney World is so expensive for Canadians, it's actually cheaper to go to Japan and go to their Disney parks than it is to go to Disney World in Orlando. I think you should send this to the person that you need to convince to do this. I'm Moxie, I'm a Canadian traveler who's an annual pass holder at Disney World in Florida, but also love Japan, and I went to the Disneys in Japan this year, and it is so much cheaper, including travel, to go there than it is for a family to go in Florida. Here's the category by category breakdown. I tried to compare apples to apples. For reference, this is a trip for a family of 4, 2 children, 2 adults in November. Flights. I took the average of 9 Canadian cities to get the price to Tokyo and the price to Orlando. I know this isn't super precise for city to city, but an average is what we have. For transportation, culturally, most people take public transit everywhere in Tokyo. Of course, people have cars, but you can navigate things extremely easily. Day pass on public transit is remarkably cheap, a little over $17 Canadian. So for the transportation costs for Tokyo, I did a day pass every single day of the 7-day trip for the family, plus an extra $150 for things like cabs or an extra transit fee if you happen to fly into Narita Airport, one of the 2 main international airports, which is a little further out and you have to buy train tickets. In Orlando, realistically, you're going to need a car. I added a car rental, a small amount of gas for it, the tolls, because there are toll roads in Orlando you need to navigate, and if you're going to the Disney parks, it's $30 US per day parking. For accommodations, I tried to compare similarly. A family of 4 for a week, you're probably gonna want a little more space than just a plain old hotel room. Shockingly, for many people, prices in Tokyo are rather affordable for places to stay. For a 2-bedroom apartment that is in a regional area, not obviously in the middle of Shibuya, but in a local neighborhood, everything is around you, transit is super easy, Disney isn't that far, you're looking about the same price as a 2-bedroom townhouse in Kissimmee. Orlando has 4 theme parks and Tokyo has 2. Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo DisneySea. For the theme parks, I did still do 4 days of tickets in Tokyo and 4 days in Orlando. If you don't know, DisneySea is the best voted, rated, whatever theme park in the world. When I went, I was astounded at the level of theming and immersiveness, even compared to a lot of the American parks. So having 4 days in Tokyo, you will still have plenty to do. A lot of the rides are very familiar at Disneyland. They still have some very unique rides. Tokyo DisneySea, you can happily spend 2 or 3 days there. For Orlando, I did 4-day tickets for the family of 4, and there is currently a promo for Canadian residents that offers 25% off tickets. And as you can see, the price point at Tokyo is so much lower than Disney World. For souvenirs, because what family goes to Disney and doesn't buy at least some souvenirs, I kept it simple. Each family member would get 1 set of ears and 1 t-shirt. In Tokyo Disneyland, I noticed on my trip, the prices were so much lower than Disney World. So for each family member to get a t-shirt and ears, Tokyo wins by far. And yes, right now, Disney World ears are $29 to $30 US, and with exchange, you're paying $40 for those ears. Obviously, the exchange between Canada and US right now is one of the reasons that the trip to Japan is more affordable. However, things in Japan like food are more affordable generally for convenience foods. For example, in the theme parks, I chose that each family member gets 1 meal for lunch, 1 meal for dinner, 1 drink, and 1 snack per day, and compared them from the US to Japan. In Japan, a bottle of pop or a bottle of water, whatever you want, a 500 ml type bottle, is 200 yen. In Disney World, that same size is $4.50 US. And I found there's a lot more variety in healthy and different foods rather than just burger and fries over and over at the more affordable quick service price point. Outside of the theme parks, Japan, it's very easy to eat out at convenience stores or get quick service meals that aren't just fast food burger and fries. And I'm talking 10 Canadian dollars for some sort of curry and rice. Tea is free. It's much more affordable to eat there while you're traveling rather than the US, where really even McDonald's is 12 US at this point. Both places have tons of free things you can do, like parks, and low-cost museums. But Orlando, one of the big things is there's constantly dopamine throwing things for activities for kids that they encourage you to do, like the Crayola experience or going on a giant Ferris wheel. The difference is in Japan, I found there's a lot of really unique and affordable things that you can do with kids that don't cost you the money that they would in Orlando, because the market in Orlando is very primed for tourists coming to spend a lot of money. In Japan, although it's being overrun by tourists right now, there is tons of locals that live there and just need activities for their kids too. So no matter where you are in Canada, it likely is going to be cheaper or the same price to have an amazing trip to Japan. And if all of this sounds really overwhelming and you're still thinking Disney World, I do actually offer Disney World coaching. But if you could subscribe and let me know where you live if it's in Canada. Has this swayed your decision at all to go to Disney World? Let me know in the comments.